How's it going? This is just a short video on the changing energies. We're now in May, and at the start of the year I did talk about, that this is a good year, it's a good time, there's good energy to capitalize on that, to make use of healing and releasing, purging our own energy or manifesting. We're always manifesting, whether we like it or not. We might just be manifesting things that we don't enjoy or don't like. So for my part, I've been continuing to manifest things that I don't enjoy. I've been continuing to manifest my difficult experience, which I'll disclose at some point. I'm not proud of, but it's part of my wound and my pain, the life that I've created for myself. It's part of my journey. So manifestation for me has kind of taken a back seat. I'm kind of manifesting unconsciously, as most of us are. And I've had periods in my life where I would be manifesting consciously, and I would set aside time every day and I would focus on what I want, and I would meditate on it, do candle focus and create whatever it is that I want and get. So I haven't been doing that because I've been continuing the breath work, medicine work, and just the release of heavier, darker energy from myself, that I have just felt moved to concentrate on that's the priority. Now I see this reflected obviously around me. For those who don't know, there is a couple of videos back about 3D being, a mirror of our consciousness, and there's 2 articles up on the website. So we've seen things progress. If you're on a path, you have seen things progress. You've felt it. You've felt perhaps discomfort, perhaps depression, perhaps physical pain, confusion. That's all your shadow. That's all your darkness being pushed out of you. Now, it's a tricky one. In my earlier videos, I would have talked a lot about stillness. That stillness is very beneficial with this, to just be in the senses and see what you see and feel what you feel, and allow that tornado just to wash over you, to pass. So what we can do wrong is that we catch on to that depression or anger and we fucking lash out, and then we're riding that energy in that wave, and who knows when it'll spit us out. In that sense and in that energy, we're feeding it to make it last longer, and also to manifest that we're giving out our energy to that anger or depression or whatever, to help it, manifest in our lives as a painful experience, or losing our job, or whatever it is, whatever it's going to happen. So the way is to be still as much as possible in the senses, still or upbeat. I tend to prefer stillness. See, upbeat can be, or think positive, can be bullshit really, because if you feel dread and you're in pain and you feel my life is falling apart, it's disingenuous to walk around smiling and quoting Deepak Chopra or Eckhart Tolle or Louise Hay or whoever, and saying, life is wonderful, isn't everything beautiful? That's not really honest. So I would now say, go to the pain and look at the pain and observe it and be still and be honest with how you feel. It's okay to feel terrible. It's okay to think that your life is falling or has fallen apart. It's normal. And that's where the freedom is, and that's where the release is, in that acknowledgement and honesty. So the reason I'm doing this video is that over those last few months, in my own work and the healing work, and in the work I've done on myself, the breath work, medicine work, I've noticed jumps, leaps and bounds after these ceremonies. A day after or days after, I would just feel, I would have huge new insights or awareness. I would feel much lighter. Whereas last year they were more incremental steps. This year they feel more like leaps. And I can see it in people around me as well, and the people I'm working with, that things are changing fast and people are changing fast, especially if they have the awareness, the ability to do this work. If you're working with me or you're doing your own, whatever it is, I just, my human nature, I always encourage deeper work, but you do what suits you. If it's meditation or yoga or whatever, walk in the forest or walk in the park, it's all good. Stillness is good. And if you can, and if you're moved to go deeper and do medicine work or ayahuasca or holotropic breath work or whatever it is you find to release that weight and that trauma from this and previous lives that are, is locked into our energy fields or our souls or our bodies, now is the time to do it. And the reason that I'm saying this again now in early May is I've just got a warning, or not a warning, I've just got an indicator myself. I would normally do something once a month for the last few months, be it medicine, ceremony or breath work, and I would always purge or release heavy energy or dark stuff from previous lives, whatever kind of trauma, could be satanic, demonic, heavy experiences or things that I have done in previous lives. In my mind, I had kind of thought I need to take a step back from medicine work, so I've decided to step back from that and concentrate on maybe some breath work, continue with breath work. But since the start of May, I've found it very heavy and quite challenging. But with that comes release. So in the last 3 days, I started purging in a meditation that was sent to me. And this is unusual for me. I would have had over the years experiences in meditation where I would feel very strong energy up the back of my spine, the back of my head, I'd be unable to move my head. All I can associate it with is possibly Kundalini energy. It could be a number of things. It could be dark energy that's being released or being pushed out. I don't know. But I've began purging, in a morning 20-minute meditation. And these would be audible, vocal, like vomiting without any contents of the stomach. I have a video released, I think it was the last video on purging, so if you're not familiar, have a listen to that. So it's a release. It's not necessarily enjoyable, but it's a release, it's beneficial. So I know that from this, when I would do this once a month, I would feel the benefits in the days and weeks after. I would be lighter, I would be vibrating higher. So now that this is seemingly going to happen, or is happening so far on a daily basis at the moment, I just have a lot of awareness that, again, it's like the volume has been turned up even more. There's higher energy. We're being pushed further through the release in the fourth dimension of all that trauma and emotion and pain and shit that's stuck to us and weighed us down. And into the fifth, which in my understanding, could be wrong, is that there is none of that. It's just light. We're just lighter. We're loving. Now, as I think I've said before, I don't believe that we are either in the third or the fourth or the fifth or sixth or whatever. I think we fluctuate between the 3 or 4 or whatever. And gradually we spend more and more time in the fourth and then more and more time in the fifth and less in the third. So that's where I'm being pushed. And I don't believe for a second that this is just me or I am unique. This is the energy field of all of us. So all of us have this opportunity to capitalize and to release dark whatever and to move into a higher vibration and higher energy. If we can switch off the TV and put down the hash, put down the hard drugs, work a little bit less, and be present more and meditate more and be still more and just go through it. And I would also say to be, when those emotions come up, to read my There Is No Spoon articles or listen to the video on 3D, that it's about loving that pain and that vibration and welcoming that piece of you back in. I'm going to do another follow-up to that video, so that'll be out when it's given to me, when I know what I'm going to say and when I know what it's about. that's it for this video. Just be aware, look around and you'll feel. Sometimes we get caught up in our trauma and in the pain, and we're fucked up and we think things are falling apart or they're not working, and sometimes it takes maybe a video like this or something just to stop and realize, no, you're right, like things are getting higher. Just because things are challenging does not mean that things are lower or the vibration is lower. We're just being squeezed, we're just being pushed, and we're being surrounded. I know that I am surrounded by energies, different beings, and I know that if you're listening to this video, you likely are too. If you're sitting watching reality TV, I'd say you're still surrounded by beings, but you're just not aware, and you just can't tune into them. Make use of that, be aware, and these are good times. There is freedom and light coming through all of this. So that's it. I hope it was of use. Please share this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel or sign up to the newsletter, links below. And I hope you're well. Have a good day. Thanks. Bye.